We're in today with the HD 4870. This is a 2008 video card with 800 shaders. It's got 1 GB of VRAM GDDR5 per core, running at 750 MHz on the core clock, 900 MHz on the memory clock, 256 bits bus width, and today we're gonna pair it up with this i7 4th gen with 4 cores and 8 threads. I think the best thing we can do for this quad crossfire is just jump in a couple of games and see how 4 cores are holding. Let's go. This is going to be a very interesting performance test with this quad crossfire. Look at this bad boy. I got 1080p here with lowest details in the game in order to see how much FPS I can bring. Look at this. I got 620 watts consumption from this computer. Very interesting performance. This is what I need from this. I think the video card itself can do a nice job standalone, yet alone for in quad crossfire. This is something that I would really like to have if I'm interested on having a retro machine, but in this situation I just wanted to see if I can play online games with this. Quad crossfire is not something easy to be achieved. I want to see if I can get the right performance. Holy 120 FPS, sometimes very volatile, sometimes I got 90 FPS, minimal 56 and 47 on 1%. It's there. When it comes to performance, this quad crossfire can actually manage to hold playable FPS. I got how much? 3.8 gig of VRAM allocated and 3.5 processed. Yes, 110 FPS on average. 54 is still holding. Let's do a reset here. Definitely working really nice. Scaling okay-ish. Not a big problem in this case with this video card. On the system side, I got like 50% load on the CPU with 66 degrees. That CPU is being utilized to deliver this performance. I think I have a standing chance on putting higher quality, but because of the VRAM allocation, you can actually see it's almost there. Come on. Yes! Yes! Managed to get my kill with this. It was now or never. Alright, so averaging around 70 FPS in some situation, depending on the zone, depending on the performance. Actually see, it's very volatile with the frame time. It's everywhere. I think it will be ideal to have lower resolution and push more FPS than lock it with VSync. Quality wise, I have to stay on normal. There is no chance on this occasion. But if I'm interested on getting more FPS, I think this is the best I can do. Does it run Crysis? This is the most important question that I can put for this system and this combination, because if I get on 1080p with maximum details, this video card to run, look at this. 90, 100 FPS on average. This is what I need from this, and I think the best thing I can do is just walk around and see how much I'm going to average. But it does show me that the quality is here, the performance is here, the video card can do the job. I got 2.2 gig of VRAM allocated and 2 gig on this process. It's a fantastic performance this quad crossfire is offering here. So in a situation like this, I would say the VRAM is good because it doesn't exceed the amount video card offers. 1 gig of VRAM per core, it's actually enough, and there is no need to put this video card on the wall. But Crysis is doing great. 93% load on the cores, that is fantastic, and 70 degrees in the first core. Why? That's a lot of temperature, seriously, for this. The first one is the generic cooler, and Accelero cooler is on the second spot. Actually, I put that one on the first place, but then if I put that video card big, the crossfire cable doesn't reach. It's a very interesting idea, you know, to actually put the video card in such a way that you get the right height on the cable. It's not perfect, but this is the only way I can manage to start the crossfire, by putting the generic one and then the Accelero on the second position. What will happen if I put 60 FPS? Look at this. So I locked the FPS to 60 and I want to see the performance now. I got 630 watts consumption. That is good. 150 watts nearly to take down just by locking the FPS to 60. That's a lot of wattage. I mean, in this situation, you can see it's very fluent. There is no ups and down. Frame time is flat. 2.5 gig of VRAM utilized. That's not bad, but if you don't need more than 60 FPS, don't use it, because like this 1080p with maximum details, this is actually fantastic. You're gonna use the video card properly. 64 54 degrees, not 70, 75, 10 degrees down just by locking it to 60 FPS. That is very important. But on the system side, I have no stress. Everything is good. 5 gig of system RAM, 15-20% load on the CPU. It's a very not appropriate CPU. Ideal Core 2 Quad can do the job if you're interested on using a video card like this in Crossfire. Quad Crossfire, apparently it's ideal with the CPU like this because it doesn't allow any bottlenecks, and I think this system is quite fantastic, even though I only got 20% load on the CPU. 54 degrees, that is good, and less than 30 watts consumption. Not bad. How about Gothic in this situation with maximum details on 1080p? It's gonna be very interesting. Oh, look at that stutter. Look at them stutters. If I remember correctly, I have to go really slow in order not to get them. Not very ideal, but it does start the game. No? 750. I got... It's not Crossfire. Gothic is not Crossfire, only 497 watts. Oh my god, I actually thought this game is gonna run with Crossfire. So disappointed on this. I actually thought I will be here in the game and I'll be like, yes, Crossfire, I'm gonna show you the best game. But ideal will be to have this load split it in 4 cores, but if the game doesn't utilize it as default, that means it's not compatible. Maybe there is a chance you can force it, but in this case you can see it's not ideal. I got only 800 megabytes of VRAM allocated and 400 processed, 18 on minimal and 12 on 1%, 81 on average. This is interesting. The FPS is everywhere apparently. Don't really like it, seriously, when the Crossfire is not working. Last time I was here, I was with an old X1600, yes? 1600 video card from ATI. Now I'm with Quad Crossfire, and I'm put everything on 1080p with maximum details. Then I had 800 by 600 with low details. Now I got maximum ultra details with this occasion. I got very interesting performance from this. I got 1.8 gig of VRAM allocated and 1.9 process. Look at that, it's all processed and allocated is the same. Look how nice it looks. 1080p with maximum details. View distance is maxed out, 60 FPS. Barely got 30% load on the cores. Barely utilized this Quad Crossfire here. 500 watts consumption in order to play Fallout 3 on maximum details. Alright, so quality wise is good, performance is good, allocation is good, is doing exactly what I want. Temperature is not being utilized as maximum. That fan on the side is helping to push air in between the cards, so for me it's very important to have this Crossfire fully loaded, but in this case barely 25% load on the cores. If you split the load from one core all of them, this is what happens, and that's why I showed you Gothic, because I was disappointed on Gothic. Utilization is good, temperature is good, everything is good here. The voltage is good. You can see it's got 0 now on the load. Maybe it's like a delay in the performance. Not going to lie, it's very appropriate, this performance. Same like Fallout 3, this Vegas doesn't have any problems. Same utilization, almost the same VRAM utilization. This is good. This is the type of performance I'm expecting from this Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas. But you need to consider this type of game if you're interested on SLI and Crossfire. There is no specific games, newish game that can run similar with this. So if you want a video card like this to run properly, you need to put Vegas. So in this case, the best situation I can do is just put it on 1080p. I think you can go higher. I have to change the cable for my capture card, and I think with a different capture card, and I can get maybe 1440p, and I think I can do 1440p with maximum details. This game, this video card, apparently it's on the positive note. Look at it, barely 30% load on the core, 2.1 gig of VRAM allocated and 2.1 processed. So the processed and allocation is the same, so it's on the same line with this. I like this idea. I like this idea of this New Vegas performance, because Fallout 3 and New Vegas managed to do almost exactly the same, and around 500 watts consumption. Averaging really nice, no frame time drops. Let's do a one more time, a little reset. Yeah, 30 FPS on 1%, 17 actually, but the minimal is good. There's not a lot of gaps and hiccups. If I stay still, the frame time is flat. That means it's because of the loading and images. Very nice performance from this video card and this machine. This CPU doesn't have any problems, 15-20% load maximum with 45-47 degrees on the CPU under 20 watts. That is a very good and ideal situation from the machine. So do I like the game? Yeah, there are some hiccups here and there, but those ones are not noticeable. I like this. Usually when I come into this game, it's with some very bad video card, but now I got 1080p with maximum details, and look how beautiful it looks. Oh man, the frame time is spectacular. Look at this, 160 FPS. How many times I see this game with maximum details? Not a lot, seriously. 500 watts. Seriously, this is a lot of wattage for this. Not gonna lie, this type of performance I would like, but when it comes to that wattage, I will be very considerate on that. If I can limit the FPS based on the monitor, let's say I got 100 FPS now, I will be even efficient in this case. But without butchering the performance here, I think this is fantastic. Great performance, scaling really well, 1.5 gig of VRAM allocated, only 30-40% load on the GPU score. The fans are like 50-60 degrees because I have no more sun outside. It's getting hot with this type of video card. I got like nearly 27 ambient here, and it's not okay. It's getting hot because of the video card. The power supply, the computer itself, yeah, it's not okay. Actually, it's got, look at that, 63 degrees on the CPU side. Never seen the CPU running so hot. But I think the only thing that matters is to get the right FPS here, and it's got very nice scaling, not a lot of bug, nothing here to complain. How much? Let's do a one more time a reset. 150. I think it's gonna go even lower, but it's gonna hold really well, even with 1% over 60 FPS. That is fantastic. But when you have 600 watts consumption from the computer, you know you're going to make the room very hot, you know. So in this case, I will say this is definitely a fantastic performance, but mind the temperature, because this is the only thing that is killing the whole setup. Games like this needs to be on 1080p maximum details with this Crossfire, and it's holding pretty well. Look at this, nice quality. I think I can go even higher resolution if I'm interested. The FPS that is limited here is helping the Crossfire because I only got 30% load in this case. So if I'm interested on getting more load on the video card, it's not possible because the FPS is limited, but it does exactly what I want. Look at him. Look at the boy. Look at him. Even though it's on Quad Crossfire, you can actually see the video card is dropping the FPS in some situation. I got like 12 FPS on minimal. Not very good on that moment. Let me do a reset and see if it's maybe because of the explosion it was so low. Sometimes it's working really nice, sometimes it's not working really nice. So on the GPU side, I got nice performance on the cores. 30-40% load is not bad. Because of the ambient temperature that I have, the GPU is still holding pretty well, around 60 degrees. That is good performance on the thermal side with Crossfire. I got like 92-93% fan power in this case to hold the video card properly. Fan on the side, 91 FPS, that is maximum. Look at this, 1080p maximum details, and I only got 2 video cards working in Crossfire. This is not okay. Ideal will be in this case to have this performance split in 4 if I'm interested on playing this game like this. I never thought I would say this, but this is not very good from Skyrim. In this situation, I got 60 FPS. This is the only thing that is important. But if you go around the map, you can actually see it's got a lot of stutter and it's dropping below playable FPS. This is not good. I think if it had Quad Crossfire, it would have helped in some situation. But in this case, look at this. Look at it. Look. What the heck is going on here? Sometimes it's even crashing. So if you're interested on playing the game with this, you're gonna have that amount of stutter and it's gonna crash. Not okay. Not okay. I think maybe it will be ideal to have all the drivers. Maybe managed to see in a couple of other computers with other video cards that managed to change the drivers and had better result in that situation. But in this case, Crossfire is very important, and if I don't have all of them together working so it can distress the whole thing, it's not worth it. 2 video cards in Crossfire, it needs to be fantastic, like in Quad Crossfire. But if only one works like this in Skyrim, yeah, it's not ideal. In this situation, the only thing I can do is play other games that are more compatible. So Skyrim in this situation, not very ideal. New Vegas on the other hand and Fallout 3, they are fantastic with this combination. Now this is a proper game that knows how to use Crossfire. Look at this, 96% load on the cores. Woo! 700 watts consumption, holy smoke. 701. Temperature wise is good. It's holding pretty well in this case with this video cards. Quality wise is good. Maximum load. There are some hiccups here and there, but it's holding okay. This amount of wattage comes with a price, 1.2 VRAM allocated and processed. It's very good on the quality, but temperature, it's inevitable. Seriously, it's not ideal to have this amount of heat in order to play this game. I mean, I love this idea that I get with this, but it will never be my first choice. I just wanted to show you how Crossfire needs to work. I want the performance from this game to be in every single game with Crossfire. If it's not worth it, because Crossfire, it's got its own flair. If it's scaling perfectly, like in this one, you cannot complain about this. Look at this. Another game that is working really nice with this Crossfire, with this combination, it's Dragon Age. Ideal would be to limit the FPS. I got 150 FPS with maximum details. Only got 40% load on the cores, and this is actually good, you know, if you consider that wattage is the main problem here. I would say this is kind of appropriate, you know. Comparing it to 700 watt consumption. 67 degrees is going to be the normal temperature for this. Only 1.3 gig of VRAM allocated and 1.2 process. I mean, it's almost the same, but it doesn't matter. Maximum fan speed on this video card because it's kind of hot, you know, and it's getting loaded every single time. But I got a lot of excessive FPS. I don't need 150. I think 99 is ideal in this game because it's a very non-competitive, you know. The FPS, the frame time doesn't need to be 3 ms in this case. Then after you limit the FPS, you're gonna distress the whole thing. This is the most important thing in this case, to have efficiency, nice FPS, nice scaling, maximum quality, the resolution you want for the monitor. In this case I got 1080p and the quality is spot on. The game looks fantastic, it's running perfectly. So there's some games that are okay, some games that are not okay, and this game knows how to utilize the Crossfire, and this is fantastic. Very interesting performance from this Crossfire. I think I will not recommend something like this. It's just for the enthusiast level, but one video card like this, I think it's fantastic. You can actually see with one video card you managed to get a lot of games that were working really nice. There's a lot of games that don't work with 2 of them. It does work with one Crossfire, with one combination, with one video card, but with 2 of them, very interesting. Very rare to find. The price on the video card, they are not cheap nowadays. If you manage to put your hands on a video card like this, it's ideal to put it with the right operating system and the right games. Not very nice to put it with new operating system and butcher it. The core is very fragile, and I think the best thing you can do for it is just optimize the game in such a way that doesn't consume a lot of wattage, doesn't consume a lot of VRAM. You don't load the core often, you know. Managed to see today that I managed to put a lot of games with 30-40%, and that is the ideal configuration. If you have a lot of excess of FPS, limit the FPS 60, 80, depending on the frequency you want. Ideal will be to have this as a trophy on the shelf, not to use it, because if it's up to me, I will use 2 HD 4890 or 4870 in Crossfire with a cable, because they are more common and you can find them on a decent price. Like I said, it would be nice to have it on a shelf, airless bag and stuff like that, in order to keep it for a very long time. Yeah, no, I don't recommend it. But if you have any suggestion for this configuration or for the system, leave a comment, smash that like button, and I will see you very soon.